Hi, I realize this video looks weird. I'm using my gaming setup to record because I don't want to edit this video. So I'm going to try and keep it straight to the point, that way I don't have to edit it, and that's why my setup looks weird. Anyways, I'm already off on a tangent. Hi! It's been a few days and I'm still struggling, but I'm coming to terms with it, and I'm not crying continuously every single day. It's just like sporadically now. But I figured it was time for me to actually review the video, seeming as the first time I watched it for a review, I just cried the whole time. And I realized I made some weird facial expressions, and I should probably explain what I was thinking and why I made those expressions and what's actually going on in my brain when I watch the video. So I'm gonna play it, and the reason I have this set up is because I can stop and play every few often. But if you see me looking up this way, it's because, again, it's my gaming setup. And so what you're seeing is me looking up at my screen. Okay, so right off the bat, my facial expression's horrible. How to explain what I think when I first saw this. I was just crying a lot, to be honest. But the song still feels like a nostalgic, sad place to me. And I'm trying to move past that. So I'm gonna just give me a second. I'll pause it at the next thing and give another explanation. Yeah, there it is. I knew this was going to be the hard part about watching this, is I'm just going to want to cry. Okay, we'll stop here. Most people bring this up when they do their reviews. I'm trying not to cry again. That's why I keep doing that. Okay. JR singing is always a great, awesome, big surprise. Something I really enjoy. I love his voice, and I know he blames himself for a lot of what happened, and that's so unfair to him. Hearing him sing this section, and again, I had the lyrics up so I could watch them and know what was being said. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. A lot of that was already reminiscent of, and that too. This isn't the video where I'm gonna do the breakdown where I talk about each Easter egg, but when you hear me go, that's definitely an Easter egg from a previous music video. Okay.
I'm not gonna be able to talk very well during this.
And I wasn't. I'm doing the same thing I was doing the first time, which is just shaking my head a lot and crying. That chessboard destroys me later. Right now, I didn't even register it while watching this first section. Later. It's so beautiful. So many Easter eggs everywhere. And he's just sitting there thinking about them, is what's going on there. That's my favorite part of the song, by the way, is every time it goes, or however, I just listen to it a lot. I'm not good at Korean pronunciations, but the is just, I don't know, it swells with remembering something, it just feels like nostalgia. And that's something that New East had always been so good about, and so I don't know how they did it, was transferring so much emotion into their songs. Listening to their songs feels like feeling something, and this is no different. It's just, this whole song just feels like a longing. Yeah. The payphone's one of the most obvious Easter eggs. There are the needles. I was not okay.
It's gross, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was not okay. I'm still not okay. I'm surprised I've made it this long, but I'm not, like, talking too much about my feelings. I'm trying to be analytical. Now we get to the black and white section, and black and white is supposed to signify, like, memories and old times. That's why it's in black and white. It's old-timey. Yeah, I find myself shaking my head again. Okay. Obviously, we all know what's going on here. This is a lone stage filled with different colors, and he's the only one on it. A lot of the times when we think about the New East W period, we think about us waiting for Minhyun to come back. But in this narrative, we're seeing... Oh, that's a horrible screenshot of me. We're seeing Minhyun waiting for all the boys to come join him on stage, and it's just, I don't know, it's very telling. One-on-one obviously was wildly successful, so maybe in a way that's him beckoning them back onto that stage with him. And you know, we think about New East as waiting, but we didn't think too much about Minhyun waiting to join New East again, and it's an interesting narrative here. And obviously, in most people's videos of reacting, this is the part where everybody gets emotional, is when they see the boys going to join Minhyun on that stage, and then they're all together, and it's the first and only time is on this stage where they're all together in this music video. In all the other scenes, they're all in separate scenes by themselves. I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it without crying. Okay, it's fine. Okay, here we go. And it's... And then this part. They're all finally together again, and everything's going great, and the bubbles are rising up as, you know, they rise as their popularity rises, and they're all together. But I guess the whole imagery of, you know, a bubble has to pop eventually. It'll keep going higher and higher, and the higher it gets, the more chance it has to pop. Which was, I guess, the whole significance of, you know, Needle and Bubble, 10 years, but also Needle and Bubble. And this part still, if I stop and think about it while listening, and I see the music video in my head, this is the part that still makes me cry. And I listened to this song on repeat 4 days, so it took me like 2 days to get past the point of crying every time this thing came on. Okay. And then, oh gross, another horrible image of me. Okay. This scene right here where the sparkles are flying down from the ceiling, I don't know, to me it almost is supposed to represent, I don't know, all the loves, all of us, because it reminds me of a band looking out to the audience, and they are the band looking up into the audience. I don't know, that's what I think of when I see it. I find it so beautiful that I made it my background on my phone. I don't know if you could see it, but I made it a live background on my phone so I can look down and see those sparkles shimmering. It's so beautiful. It's beautiful imagery. There it is. That, I don't know if you saw it. Here, I'll back it up for a second. The chessboard. The chessboard falling and like not falling but like kind of thrown about in this tornado that he's got going on in this room. The chessboard going flying with the pieces flying everywhere. It destroys me when I stop and think about it, because it's like the game's over. It's kind of like they're saying the game's over, and this whole focus on the chessboard that we've had for a while, you know, the knights and the queen. The chessboard flying in this is just, that's tough. Okay. Yeah, it's tough. There it is. You see it? Minion turning around and then Aaron turning around to like kind of, I don't know, the imagery I get from that is like they're looking for each other. I don't know, that's probably not at all what they intended, but when I see that, I'm like, I just think of Minion turning and looking for Aaron, and Aaron turning and looking for Minion, and neither of them are there. I don't know, that's the imagery I get from it, and that's why that part makes me really sad. But then this here, right here, that look that he gives while looking up and just like gently smiling into the rain. And then his look here of just the content smiles that they have been really comforting. Like those images there really make me feel like they are okay with this. Because that's one of the big questions that we've had is what happened. You know, not that long ago they were talking about the future and continuing on together and being together forever. And then this came out of nowhere. So a lot of the question has been, was it truly them deciding not to sign on, or did something happen? Did something happen within the company that they aren't agreeing with and they wanted to stay together but don't want to stay? I don't know. There's lots of conspiracy theories going on about it. And I won't even pretend to know that I know what's happening, because I can't wrap my head around what possibly could have happened. But seeing his content face here, Bako's here, and then Aaron's in the previous scene where they're both smiling with their eyes closed looking up, have really brought me comfort in hoping that they are content with what's going on. Because if they're content, then we could be content, and it's those shots have meant a lot to me. Rewatching the video as I have, to try and boost those views. Keep watching it, please. Boost the views. Okay. I hate that I made this painful an expression, and every time when I was editing this, and every time I've watched it since, because I rewatch my videos like a loser, I hate that I made this expression in a second. Not this one. That one. I don't even want to look at it, and it's up there and I don't want to look at it. I hate that I made that expression, but I will finally explain myself and why I made that expression. This shot of Ren is very reminiscent of a screenshot from the Goodbye Bye era where he had a rose in his mouth, and I used that screenshot of him as my icon for my Tumblr, my Skype, I switched a bunch of stuff, and I used it for years. So when I saw this shot of him with that rose in front of his mouth, very similarly to that image that people would use to identify my pages for a very long time, and it's like the last shot of him in these scenes, and I knew the song was coming to an end. I could hear it drawing up, and in my mind, the last image I would see of him in New East was this image that I had used. It's so similar to an image I had used for years. and it broke my heart. And what you see is my expression that looks like complete horror is me realizing that. Me realizing that it's over, and that I didn't even notice the, oh gosh, get it off the screen. I hadn't even noticed. Let me just remove that. I hadn't even noticed the flower at the very end growing out with the 2 leaves, which I'm assuming are supposed to be Baeko and Minhyun, since they're staying, Baeko and Minhyun, since they're staying with Pleiades. But I didn't even see that in the video because I was too busy crying. But yeah, so that's my actual review of the video, instead of just blubbering and crying. So there's that. There's my explanation of some of the facial expressions I made. I'm okay right now, but I'm oftentimes not okay. So it's a day-to-day process, but we'll just keep walking. Thank you for watching this video. I've got my unboxing of the Needle and Bubble albums coming up next, because guess what? I've ordered 2 copies, but I also went to my local K-pop store and bought 2 there, because the more the merrier. But I'll be doing a giveaway for one of them. It will be opened because I bought multiples to get more photo cards, but I'm going to give away one of the albums on here, and I'm going to give away another one on my Tumblr page, which you can find here, right there. Yeah, so that video is coming up next, and there's going to be me breaking down the Needle and Bubble video and like an in-depth breakdown. There's going to be a lot of different videos, including more reactions to the videos that they are releasing right now that I haven't seen yet, so that'll be happening. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hello to my new followers. It's really cool to see new EST fans out there interacting and telling me their similar stories. So keep commenting, keep telling me your stories, keep telling me how you're feeling. We all need a shoulder to cry on right now, and I'm very surprised I made it through this video with minimal crying. And every time I go like this, it's me trying to gather myself. It's a lot. Anyways, thank you for watching. Stay strong, little fireflies.